Okay, welcome to back to the Nerd Culture Class, guys. The show where we start off talking about something interesting, and then we just start meandering into wherever the hell we're going. I'm CBB. I'm here with my buddy Tom, and George Peter Gatsis is joining us again this week. So, how was your guys this week? You guys are just talking. You said you went and saw 1911. 1917.
Yeah, it was good. I really enjoyed it. Although, once again,
we're going to stop and just start over.
It was a wonderful film. The cinematography was beautiful. The story was exceptional, and trying to find where the cuts are between takes was mind racking.
Yeah, they did a really good job. Some of them, like almost any time. And for anybody that doesn't know what we're talking about, it's a one-shot movie. It's a continuous shot. It's not, cut up. Everything's from one perspective, and the camera just follows the action through the whole movie. It's just one camera, one shot. But usually, anytime somebody passes in front of the camera, is a cut. Like if the camera is panning around. There's somebody standing there and the camera passes between the person and the scene, that's a cut. But some of the other ones, like the ones when they're outside, trying to find the cuts in those is
pretty impressive. Yeah, they have some pretty interesting ways that they do those cuts, man. But to give you an idea, like what Tom's saying here, it's kind of like that one scene from Goodfellas. That's like it's like an 11-minute long scene where they're following them out of the car and then into the studio, into the restaurant, and then through the restaurant and downstairs and through the basement and then up into the other place. And then it's like that shot like there. Everyone was like, "Oh my god, this is amazing!" The whole damn movie is that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Well, it's called a continuous tracking shot.
Okay.
Yeah, it was, and it's impressive too, man. It was like, wow. But yeah, I really, really want to see that movie. I mean, just the subject matter is cool to me by itself, but the idea that's being shot in that form like that long form like that, that's a really cool idea. So that's one of the ones on my list. I got a bunch of them I gotta watch yet.
And another thing I really got to give them a lot of kudos on is the like whoever did the costuming.
Mm-hmm.
They were freaking awesome. I mean, everything they had to do with the sets. I mean, everything in the movie was just fantastic, spot on, great.
Yeah. Those period movies like that are really cool to watch too, because just seeing
especially when they get it right.
Yeah.
Yeah, the experience. I mean, you're literally having an experience watching this movie. It was like the opening experience of Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah.
Tom Hanks is coming off the boat, and that I think it was a half an hour, just trying to get up the cliff.
Yeah.
You were right there. The camera was close. You were feeling the impacts. It was like you're right. That was an experience as well.
Yeah, and the sound in that scene, the opening there of Saving Private Ryan, the sound in that was amazing too. They did a really good job with that.
Oh, yeah. You hear the bullet, coming at you. Left, right speaker sound movement. It was exceptional.
Yep. It's definitely on my list. Real quick before we get too far into this, though, I do want to go over this real fast. Last week, I did an interview with John Gallagher and Carla Tornielli. I always mess her name up, and I apologize. I'm terrible with names. They're the husband and wife crew that did Grim Reaper, which is on Indiegogo right now. They're actually they were getting ready to do Grim Reaper 2, but literally the next day they lost their house in a fire, and a GoFundMe has been set up for them, and this is the page right here. I will drop the link in the chat, and to help them get back on their feet. A really, really nice couple. Had a great time interviewing them. Looking forward to interviewing them for their next book when they do get a chance to get things righted, to write that ship and get that book going. But yeah, and so far, like, this was just set up about three weeks ago, and they're already at like over $2,200. So a lot of people giving them some love. So I just wanted to throw that out there for them real quick. But okay, let me stop that. Okay, so the Morbius trailer dropped. Did you guys watch that?
I have not seen it.
Yes.
I'd like that. Tom's answer to almost everything was like, nope. But we're gonna look at it a little bit. We'll look at it a little bit, but obviously we're not gonna be talking about it. Not gonna be watching the whole thing because I don't want to get a strike. But go ahead and share this up here.
Your logo, your channel logo over the video, it will prevent strike from happening.
Well, I mean, it's the channel logo is over top of the edge of it, so that should be cool.
Sure.
But
stop and play.
Yep. Okay, so go ahead and hit this. So I'm kind of torn on this because I'll fully admit it looks better than I thought it was going to. I thought this thing was going to be a train wreck. But it does look, well, for one, it's got him in it. He's such a good actor. I can't remember his name now. He's one of those guys that's in everything.
Jared Leto.
No, not Jared Leto, not the guy, not the main character. The guy who plays the doctor that's like his mentor. What's his name? Jared Harris. Jared Harris, that's his name. But he's been in a lot of stuff. But I do like that they're doing the whole, and they're doing fairly. It seems fairly close to the actual comic book where he has this terrible disease that he's trying to cure.
Don't you get a vibe from Captain America? What's that? Don't you get a vibe that this is like a Captain America origin?
Kind of, maybe a little bit. Well, it's always that whole, sickly, unlikely character who gains power. The thing I'm wondering about this though is because one of the elements about Morbius from the comic was the way he turned into what he was is he actually got a hold of some of Spider-Man's blood, and it was the radiation in Spider-Man's blood that allowed him to create his cure. The problem is that the radiation also caused mutation. So I like that they're doing the, obviously, he gets the weird powers and everything. The things that I like about this is that it looks like at the end, as he continues to mutate, he actually does turn into the version of Morbius that's in the comics, which is like this really pale monster. Yeah. The thing I'm worried about is that going to be like a thing that only happens to him at night? Because that's what that scene right there, and this is actually kind of cool right here. This scene right here, just to point this out, because a lot of people have already pointed this out. That's the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, and you got the word murderer over top of him. So, there are a couple of things in this trailer that they actually connected to Spider-Man, which we'll talk about the one in a second, but the deal, according to everything that I've read and the reports that have been put out, the new deal between Sony and Marvel is that the Sony movies can reference the stuff that have happened in the Marvel movies and vice versa if they want to. So they're a little more connected than they used to be. And so that's kind of a cool. I like that. I like that they're at least acknowledging Spider-Man. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I like that. But this scene kind of worries me because this looks to me like he's waking up in the day, and he goes back to being a person during the day.
That looks like a prison suit he's got on.
Yeah, it does. And so I'm kind of wondering if that's what they're going to go with, which I'm not really on board with that. And then we got Matt Smith, which is cool. And then it does look like as time goes on, he gets more and more out of control, which is good because that's the whole thing. And then right there, that's the thing. That's what I'm like. Okay, I like this
beastie face.
Yeah, he looks like Morbius from the comics. He looks the way Morbius is supposed to look. So I don't know how much this is going to tie in with Spider-Man, but at least they're getting his look right, which is, I'm a comic book guy and I'm a visual guy, so that's important to me. But this is what I was like, this right here is what really, like, I was like, oh, okay, this is actually pretty cool. Hey, it's the Vulture from
Michael Keaton.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, so that's interesting. Now, that we're assuming that.
I mean, it is Michael Keaton, but
it's the Vulture.
Yeah. The only thing that I'm wondering is like the suit that he's wearing. I thought he might be an EMT or anything, but from what I understand, and let me see if they've updated it on the IMDb page. IMDb. Here we go. Someone said that they updated it and he's in there. Michael Keaton. Yeah, so Michael Keaton's in there, but he's not listed. They didn't list who the character is. So someone said that they were going to update. Someone said they already updated that, but obviously they haven't. So yeah, it's I am guardedly optimistic about this movie. The Venom movie was, even though I wasn't the biggest fan of it, the Venom movie was better than I thought it was going to be.
It's not saying a lot, but
I mean, I'm credit where credit's due. I hate that this keeps popping up like that. Stop doing that. Credit where credit's due. It was better than I thought it was going to be. This looks better than I thought it was going to. So, and I'm happy to be wrong. I'm like, hey, awesome. I don't, like I said, I don't go into movies hoping they suck. The fact that that we're seeing some kind of play back and forth between Sony and the MCU, I think that's a good thing because that means we can actually get Spider-Man in these movies. We might actually get the Sinister Six, a proper Sinister Six. So I don't know, man. What do you guys think?
Like you're going to have to wait till it comes out, or closer to because release date is still just summer. Do they have an actual release date on it yet? Or
I think it is releasing. Let me see here. It's sometime. I think they do have an official release date.
Okay. Because
July 31st.
Yeah.
Okay.
The release date might change because Disney had scooped up all the visual effects companies in 2019 to produce Skywalker. So any visual effects heavy movie is going to be pushed back, most likely.
Yeah, and this is another piece that I like. We see the cut in his hand. So one of the things that they've kind of changed this over the years, but originally Morbius didn't feed like with fangs; he fed through his hands. So I'm wondering if the whole cut reference thing is going to be part of that. I mean, that's not one of those details that I'm a stickler for. But it would be interesting. Hang on a second, let me get Frank in here. What's up, Frankie?
Hey.
Hey, did you watch the Morbius trailer?
Of course.
All right, good.
That's the answer you were looking for.
Yeah, that's the answer I was looking for. It's like, oh my God, thank God somebody did. What did you think of it, man?
Different.
Different?
I'm not a big Leto fan.
Yep.
I wasn't impressed with his Joker, but
yeah,
maybe this will be different.
And that's the thing about a lot of people were saying, oh God, Jared Lee's going to be Morbius. Like his Joker was terrible, and his Joker was terrible. He's an actor, dude. He's just playing a part. And whatever people get mad about, characters in movies and stuff, you got to remember those people are just picking up a paycheck, man. They're not like they went in there and said, "Hey, this is how I want the character to be," and I want no. The director's telling them what to do. So
and the writer's telling them what to say. So
right. So it's
it's an ensemble thing.
Yeah. So I mean, he gave them the performance that they wanted, and Jared Leto's been in some good stuff. So I don't have a problem with him as an actor. I just had reservations about this movie. I'm going to give this movie a chance. Is where I'm at with it. I'm going to give it a chance. I don't want it to suck. I want it to be good. The fact that they're referencing Spider-Man, I think, is a good thing. I would really, and this is something I'm actually, believe it or not, we should take a look at that trailer when we're done.
Which trailer?
The New Mutants trailer.
Oh yeah,
the new one that they just dropped. Apparently, Disney decided, you know what? Screw all these reshoots and everything. We're going back to the original horror movie that they were making for New Mutants, which I think is a good idea because, George, did you ever read the Demon Bear story from New Mutants?
No, actually, I cut out when I think it was Paul Smith stopped drawing it.
Okay. The Demon Bear story is actually really, really good, and it is a straight up horror story. I really like the idea that the Metal's here. Hey, what's up, Metal? Hang on a second, dude. Let me drop this here. I'm always dropping the StreamYards in here for anybody that wants to come in and hang. Paste that up. Okay. But yeah, the reservations I have for this movie are kind of right now being outweighed by the fact that it looks, like I said, it looks like they did a better job on this than I thought they were going to. So, yeah, I'm kind of I'm interested in this. George, you were talking before we interrupted you, man. I'm sorry.
Oh no, that's fine. I have a theory about the Spider-Man appearance on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
I think in the next Spider-Man movie, they're going to pull a gag where Peter Parker is cycling through different spider suits, and he'll cycle the 2000 Spider-Man suit.
Well, we know that they're going to have to do something. He's going to be doing he's going to be a fugitive because they think he's a murderer. Remember, because of the whole Mysterio thing, yeah. So they think he's a killer. So I like the fact that they put that up there, but I'm like, okay, that's the Tobey Maguire suit, so it's going to be interesting to see what they do. But this, I'll tell you what I would really like. I would like them to do a Midnight Suns. I would like them to do, because they've got Morbius here. And a lot of people think that they're going to do Sinister Six. I'm like, well, Morbius has never really been a member of the Sinister Six. But he was a member of the Midnight Suns. And we've got, they already said that they're going to start pulling some stuff from the TV shows. Because they're saying that they're actually going to look into introducing the Defenders into the MCU films. They've also already got the Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider. So I would like to see them start building a Midnight Suns thing, which with them going kind of dark with Doctor Strange, which that's a whole nother story right there, is how Doctor Strange just kind of imploded. And a lot of things are just kind of up in the air now with Marvel's future going forward. But I like that we've got there's a Blade movie coming. We've got Morbius. Ghost Rider's already there. That's all you need is friggin' the Darkhold Redeemers and what's his name, Hannibal King, and you've got the Midnight Suns. So I'm down with that. I think that would be cool.
So who's the new Blade, or is it just
what's that guy? I can never pronounce that guy's name.
The actor who played Cottonmouth.
What is the dude's name? Blade Marvel.
Here we go. Dusty Rose, what's his name?
Yeah, this give me one second here. I'm a common man, so just hang on. New Blade movie. All right. Maher Shala Ali. Yeah. Sorry.
Without a picture, I don't know who that is.
I'm going to show you a picture of him right now. He's an Oscar. He's actually really good. Do you remember that show? What is it? The 4400.
I remember commercials for it. I never watched it.
Oh yeah. That's right. People from the future coming to the past.
Right.
Sounds like,
yeah. He was.
How many TV shows have they pulled off with the same concept?
Yeah. This guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Jason Tershak. Hey, what's up, Tersh? Have we oversaturated ourselves on MCU? Will we look towards DC films as a mark of quality? Dude, I would love for DC to take a jump here. Dude, yeah. And by the way, where the hell have you been? We're friggin' like what, five sessions into the friggin' our D&D game, and this dude is like incognito, incommunicado. Yeah, incognito. I know how to talk. What's up, Tersh? No, he's the airman from 1944 during World War II, when they come back in that show. So, but yeah, he also played Cottonmouth, and he was also in that show, that movie Moonlight. His stock really got real big in Hollywood. He was in that. What's that other one about the pianist during the 1940s and 1950s?
The Green Book.
The Green Book. He was also in that. So
yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay. I don't feel like looking at Anderson Cooper.
I think Jason brings up a good point, but Warner Brothers can't keep their fingers out of DC movies.
Yeah.
If they had somebody like a Feige who is in charge and they leave him in charge at Warner Brothers, then I think, yes, Warner Brothers can be the new, or DC can be the new Marvel.
Yeah. DC could. Well, the problem with DC was twofold. One, they didn't want to take the time to build their universe like Marvel did. And let's be honest, the first couple of Marvel films, Iron Man was great. I liked Captain America, but it did have some pacing problems. Thor had some issues. Like they weren't like the giant multi-billion-dollar blockbusters in the beginning, but they took the time and they built it, and they got to where they're at. DC were just like, we want to be there now, So they did 2 movies and immediately, we're doing Justice League. So that was a problem for me right there. And 2, they did have a guy who was supposed to be the Feige, and that was Jeff Johns, but he got his legs cut out from underneath him. And this because the studio didn't go to him and say, okay, lead this pack. They went there and said, okay, we want you to tell us what to do, and then we're going to go do whatever we want. So, and they changed studio heads twice during that period. So it was a mess, man. And they did make a couple of decent movies. It's just they just couldn't get that stuff connected, man. It just wasn't working. That connective tissue wasn't built. So, because I like Henry Cavill as Superman. I thought he did a great job. But yeah, I mean, I'm hoping the Morbius thing is is less of a he's going to be part of the Sinister Six and more of a we're going to build the Midnight Suns kind of thing, because I love the Midnight Suns. I really wish Marvel would bring back their horror line. But so there was in a previous episode we watched the Black Widow trailer. And one of my biggest issues with the Black Widow trailer was that Taskmaster looked like shit. Apparently, I'm not alone, because his mask is different now. I still think it's a move in the right direction. I I approve of this. Thank you for listening. Needs a little more. The thing about Taskmaster is his mask is iconic. He's one of my favorite villains of all time. And while this is better, it's still not perfect. All right. I think that the tech look is a little too much. Malibu Stacy has a new hat. Tersh, you're a dick. Ter says, is DC more original? Is Marvel following a formula? Yeah, Marvel. That's actually one of the reasons why a lot of people are like they're stunned that Captain Marvel made so much money. It's like, dude, no. Marvel, think about this. Starting with Iron Man, way back in was it 2009? Marvel started building these movies, and if you watch all these movies, every single movie they hit these certain beats. You know what I mean? And as long as those movies hit those beats,
and
they've engendered an entire audience over this 10-year period. Because you remember when people who were like 10, 12 years old when Iron Man came out, they're in their late teens, early 20s now. So they have cultivated a following of these movies, and as long as these movies hit those beats, they're gonna go see them. Like when everyone was talking, oh, it's only going to make $500 million. It's like, dude, you're out of your damn mind. That movie's going to make $1 billion. So, yeah, I mean, with
next in the series, and they've just been plodding along.
Yep.
This is what we're going to do. We've got our.
Yeah. When's the next one's coming out? Let's go. Next one's coming out. Let's go. You know,
they got their movies planned out for the next 5 years.
Yeah. I mean, it's you, whether you like it or you dislike it, you got to give them credit, man. They're smart about this. They went into this thing with the long haul. And I think, and again, that's some place where DC fell apart. They didn't go into this thing with the long haul. They were like, we want the success now. We want this now. But
want instant gratification, instant success. You can't get that.
Yeah.
You can't. And going back to Taskmaster, sorry, Rob. Are they pulling a Sonic the Hedgehog with Taskmaster?
I think that's a little bit of what we got here. I think this is them going, okay, they obviously didn't like what we did. We're going to fix this. And you got to remember too, a lot of these outfits, these costumes that the actors are wearing and everything, like the helmets and stuff, those are all green screened. Those are all CGI. And George, you're a CGI guy. You and I went to school for it back in 2003. I went to Full Sail, and every movie that I watch, I'm always looking for those little cues, those little okay, that's CGI, that's and that's something that Marvel has been doing for a long time. Fixing this was not a hard thing for them to do.
Oh yeah, my brother actually did the swap out for the Iron Man armor in the cave.
Cool.
So, entire armor in the cave, it wasn't practical. It was CG.
Oh yeah, and like everything down to Spider-Man suit, which you could easily do Spider-Man suit with just a traditional suit. That's all CG. That's all overlay. But and then Metal says Johns would have been great left off the leash. Yes, he would. I agree. I think he would have. I know some people disagree with that. I think Johns, you let him off the leash creatively, he will build you a great universe.
Yeah, well, see, the problem is with Hollywood mentality, actually at the corporate level, they have a little checklist,
mm-hmm.
and if that checklist is not perfect in terms of checking all the points off, then it's a problem.
Yeah,
this is what they're running. There's a reason why all the Marvel movies are the same. You start off with your hero, something tragic happens, he has to overcome it, and then there's a big finish.
Yeah.
At the 60-minute mark, you always have your second biggest explosion, so to speak, in the movie.
Yeah, you have your big set piece moment, your big reveal.
Your second biggest. The biggest is always at the end, of course.
Yeah.
But they do not deviate from this formula.
Yeah.
It's sacrilege if you do.
Yeah, Jason's like, get that MacGuffin. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, and the reason why the Star Wars stuff was such a train wreck, is basically they incorporated agenda on top of their little checklist, but it's it's more insidious than that. If you look at the story structure themselves, the Marvel story structure is exactly the same. It literally is exactly the same.
Mm-hmm.
The formula it hasn't changed, and that's a beautiful thing because they do one thing really well. It's called audience satisfaction. If your audience leaves the movie theater is satisfied, whether it's a sad ending or a happy ending,
Don't come back.
that is a job well done.
Mm-hmm.
If your audience leaves not satisfied, you're going to get Rise of Skywalker failure level.
Well, here's the thing.
Or Little Women, or Charlie's Angels, or any of the other stuff.
Well, I think the problem is if you're making a movie for a niche audience, you can't get mad when people that it's not aimed at don't go see your movie. Like that's what's going on with Little Women. Like women love it. Like there's a lot of women that go to that movie and they love it. Men, not so much. I read the book. It took me a while. And I can read a book in like 2.5 hours. That book is not made for me. You know, and that movie was not made for me. So you can't get mad at me when I go, yeah, I don't want to see that. That doesn't talk to me. But movies like Marvel, like they made those movies specifically they're for the vast majority, they want everybody to go see those movies because they're all about this.
Well, of course. Have you noticed the visual? Let's start off with Iron Man 1. Have you noticed the visuals, the sexy visuals of Tony Stark? You know,
oh yeah,
and beating down on the metal, you know, with his shirt off. It's a
dude's movie.
You know, that was a chick moment. That Favreau actually just said to the women in the production, said, you know, what is hot for you? And they all said, you got to get him sweaty and off his shirt.
Well, dude, there's that scene from Captain America, the first one, when as soon as he comes out of thing, she puts her hand on his chest.
Yeah,
she's like, "Oh my god!"
That character, when she was touching him, just gently like that, that was a chick moment.
Yeah, you know, it
was wonderful. You know, it was.
And on top of that, that wasn't scripted.
Yeah, no, and exactly. That's the thing that made everybody that made it so awesome. Is it she did that? She's like, "Oh my god, I gotta touch that." But Tersh asked, does the fact that Batman and Superman keep being played by different actors contribute to the problem with DC? I think that might be part of it because you lose that recognizability, because that's one of the things that has really helped Marvel is
keeping the same people on the whole time.
Right. You had Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark all the way through. You had Chris Hemsworth as Thor all the way through. Changing it up, the characters are still recognizable, but you don't know what you're going to get. You know what I mean?
It's consistent branding.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, me personally, Cavill is the second best Superman I've ever seen.
Yeah, I really like him.
I mean, he looks great right across the board. Yeah, in terms of charisma, body, and just appearance.
And his delivery too, like he gets that character.
Exactly. Now, the thing is, you're invested in this actor for how many years now? 5 years, 6 years? You know, it's a long time. You can't overcome, a branding experience that takes place over many years. It's literally impossible to overcome. As an example, Bewitched, when they came out with that movie, it was absolutely terrible. Mm-hmm. They were trying to overcome branding that actually it was ingrained in so many people for, 40, 50 years.
Yeah, that was a weird movie anyway. But like a good example of what Tersh is talking about is like Christian Bale was Batman for 3 movies for 7 years. You know, he became Batman in a lot of people's eyes, and an entire generation of people, that's Batman. So when they switched to Affleck, even though I thought Affleck did a pretty good job in Batman versus Superman, that's a little jarring. So, I mean, I think that's part of it, but I think the biggest part of it was the fact that they just didn't have a showrunner. They didn't have that Feige person. Which if they really, really wanted to push for the Marvel thing, they should do that. But they're obviously going in a different direction. But okay, so but yeah, like I'm happy. I was gonna go see Black Widow anyway. Because I'm a nerd. And Taskmaster is one of my favorite was one of my favorite villains. I'm happy they're doing this. I'm happy they're listening. And I think when studios do listen, like you brought up, Tom, like the Sonic guys, we need to let them know, thank you for doing that. You're doing the right thing. Give them credit when credit is due.
Give me credit where credit's due.
Shut your pie hole.
I said Sonic.
I want to point out something. I have a suspicion that Sonic thing was a marketing stunt.
You're not the only person that said that to me.
Even before, they have focus groups before the movie comes out into the market. They also have focus groups for trailers too.
Yeah.
So when I saw it, I'm going like, this got to be a marketing stunt, because there's no ways a design that poorly against a character that is so recognized would ever come out.
Yeah, it's Mike Watson, Frank, he knows that. That's a friend of ours. He's a indie comic creator. He immediately said that he's like, this is a marketing stunt. I don't know if it was a marketing stunt or not. If it was a great one.
Oh yeah, it was well executed.
I think I'm more inclined to believe that it was more of a studio sticking there, like, again, like we talk about, some studio execs trying to be creative, because that has happened since the beginning of Hollywood. These people who aren't creative types sticking their nose in, this isn't going to work with Western audiences. We need to change this thing up. Stuff like that. And, and that's what usually genuinely happens, is people look at it and go, no, this is crap. But would I be surprised if it was a publicity stunt? No, absolutely not. But if it is, it worked. It was a great idea. It's because that thing got crazy buzz. And I'm gonna tell you right now, that movie, I don't know how well it's going to do overall, but the first week that thing comes out, it's going to do huge.
Yeah, I see that, because it was a great marketing stunt, and it actually, if you think about it, it's actually saved them a lot of money on advertising.
Mm-hmm.
And clever marketing stunts like this is what will help propel them to a profit. Because usually a movie, they always say, the production of the movie multiplied by the same amount of the production as advertising cost, that's going to be the budget for the entire movie, and that's how much they're supposed to recoup.
Yeah.
Everyone keeps talking about that, but no one realizes that the money, that the gross money that comes out of the movie theater, it's not 100% going back into the hands of the production company.
That's actually kind of funny you brought that up, because the story I'm going to tell you guys in a minute, where I broke my rule and I got into a Twitter argument. That's the thing I was bringing up, and they didn't like it. So, but real quick, Tersh says, I miss Adam West. Yeah, Adam West was a cool dude, man. Yeah, I think a lot of people. He was Batman growing up for a lot of kids. Lost in Comics, thanks for being here. Says, honest opinion, who has been the best modern Batman? Personally, for me, I think Bale, dude. I love that Christian Bale. I think part of the reason is that Christian Bale was the first serious Batman. It was the first Batman that were being 100% serious. Michael Keaton is going to be Batman to a lot of people. I would definitely put him as my second. But those movies were done with a certain level of camp, because it's Tim Burton. Tim Burton does that.
And when you think about it, really, you're like, Michael Keaton is Batman. I mean, seriously, when you first heard that, you're like, really? But he pulled it off. He did a good job.
Yeah.
I mean, I was seriously yeah, when it first came out, oh, Batman movie, and it's going to be Michael Keaton. I was like, the little guy.
The first thing I went through is are they doing a comedy? Is it
going to be
Michael
campy
Keaton was
like?
largely known as a comedic actor at that point, and I'm like, is he gonna tell jokes and shit? I don't.
Well, he came off of what, a success of Mr. Mom at that time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mr. Mom and Graveyard Shift were the two movies that I knew him from. And I'm like, is John Belushi going to be the Joker? What the hell is this?
At least make him the Penguin.
Yeah. Which, by the way, I get pushback from so many people about that. I thought Danny DeVito was awesome as the Penguin. The only thing I didn't like was that they camped it up. And I was like, if they did him like as a serious, creepy Penguin. Like, he was creepy enough, but if it was like 100%, if they did like a Nolan style movie with him as the Penguin at that time period, holy crap, that would have been fantastic. Lost in Comics said, glad we agree. I feel like he got the character embodied. Yeah, Christian Bale did a great job with Batman. The only problem I have, obviously, was some script issues from the last movie. Nolan had the right direction for the Batman movies, and the actors caught the vision. Yeah, I agree. I just don't. I don't know if it's because they didn't know how to end it, because they were like, because the part of the problem was that Christian Bale came out and said, 3 and I'm done. Like, I'm out. Because Christian Bale, that's the kind of dude he is. He's a serious actor. I don't want to be typecast as Batman. You know, it's that kind of thing. Which, I mean, hey, okay, fine. But they were like, okay, we got to end this thing somehow. And Chris Nolan is like, okay, well, I'm going to nuke him. And everybody just kind of went, okay. But, yeah, no, like Dark Knight is one of my top 5 comic book movies of all time. So, but yeah, okay. So anyway, all right. This is gonna be funny. So, like I said, I don't get into Twitter arguments anymore because there's pointless. It's just like trying to kick water uphill. So, I saw a person tweet something out about, like, you know, all the, you know, like people talking about the Rise of Skywalker, how it's awful. It's like the movie's made almost $1 billion. It's gonna make $1 billion. And I'm like, okay, and a couple of people were saying, yeah, but the Disney paid $4.5 billion for it. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to make a comment here. I was like, that was my first mistake. So I said, I was like, hey, you know, I'm not here to pile on or anything, but you know, the Disney Star Wars has not made as much movie as you guys think. I said, you take the fact that they paid $4.5 billion for it out front, and the movies cost $1.3 billion to make, and then all the other things that they had to pay for. You know, as I said, and then I emphasize this, like, look, Disney's not stupid. They're gonna make money off of this thing, okay? They just haven't made as much off of it as you guys think. As well, I didn't say you guys, I said as people think. Oh my God, you would have thought I took a crap in someone's mouth. These people came after me like, you lying, that's bullshit. They made $1 billion in merchandising the first year alone, and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, oh my God. So initially I went like, oh, motherfucker, you can't come at me like that. So I started breaking it down as, okay, $4.5 billion initial cost, $1.3 billion for the movies, $1 billion to build Galaxy's Edge, and
Disney Plus. Don't forget Disney Plus.
Yeah, Disney Plus, and I'm like, and at the end of it, I said, this shit's not free. You got to make this stuff. I was like, yes, they made $1 billion in merchandising, something you guys you aren't thinking about. George Lucas still owns a big chunk of Star Wars. George Lucas is the largest single shareholder at Disney next to the Jobs family. Okay, they're still paying that dude a ton of money. According to the reports, he has made $2.4 billion off of Disney Star Wars just from his stock options alone. And not only that, but And I was like, oh yeah, the movies have brought in, all 5 movies all together have brought in something like, was it $5.8 billion? They don't get all of that money. They only get about 50% of that overall. They get, I believe it's 53% domestically and about 45% foreign. So it evens out to about 50%. So it's like, they don't get all that money. He's like it's math. And again, and at the end of it, I put, it's like, look, guys, I'm not crapping on Star Wars. I like Star Wars, and Disney isn't dumb. And it's like Tom and me have actually talked about this. When Disney makes a mistake, they rarely make it twice. So they're gonna make money off of this thing, and if they haven't made their money back yet, they will soon. They're gonna make money off it. They just haven't made as much as you guys think. Oh no, they were not having it. So I started typing up another one. I was like, all right, it's like, listen, you son of a bitch. And then I was like, you know what? My brain finally went, what the hell are you doing?
You're still banned again.
And so I was like, so I just typed in okay, and I just left. But the thing that's funny, the person I was arguing with, Rob Liefeld.
No way.
I was arguing with Mr. 1,000 Pouches, no feet drawing Rob Liefeld. I was just like, and I was like, I'm kind of like that. I think that's part of the reason why I wanted to keep doing it, because I was like, yeah, we're arguing, but it's Rob Liefeld. Oh my God. But
don't get yourself Twitter banned again.
Oh my God, dude. No, when I got Twitter banned, I knew I was going to get banned. I'm like, okay, even before I sent that thing, I was like, this is going to get me, I'm going to get banned for like, I knew it was going to be like a 24 or 40 hour period. I'm like, this is instantly going to get flagged, because there were more F-bombs in that tweet than I think I've ever spoken in my life. Like, it would probably take a half an hour to count them all up. So as soon as I hit that, I was like, I'm just going to sit here and count 1, 2, 3, just see how long is it. And it was like that. So, but yeah, I like Rob, but that's funny, dude. It is funny looking back on it. I'm like, come on, Rob, come on, man. I was like, look, I know. Here's the thing. I've said it before and I'll say it again. You can't argue with fans about things because they're fans, and the word fan is derived from fanatic. You're not going to be able to convince a fanatic about something. So I love Rob Liefeld. I think he's awesome. I think that was funny. Which was, and then at the end of it, I kind of, a couple of other people actually started coming to my defense. I was like, awesome. But I was like, I'm going to kill this argument before it goes any further. So there's a, have you guys seen that video of, God, what's her name? My brain does not want to work today.
Give us a hint.
She played Padme Amidala.
Natalie Portman.
Natalie Portman. Thank you. There's a video. It's supposed to be like a fake video. It's I think it was like from SNL or something. But they're asking, is like, have you seen the sequels? And she goes, oh, they're so good. They're so much better. And she goes, better than what? And the guy goes, shit. And then it's like it switches to this rap video, and she's dressed up as Padme Amidala, and she's got a freaking gun to this guy's head. She's like, say something about the mother effing prequels, bitch. Dude, it's the funniest thing I've seen in a while.
Gonna have to find that,
dude. I posted it. I'll have to throw the link in there, dude. It's freaking hilarious. It's starting to make the rounds, man.
Hey, Rob, do you remember the daggers I got? Dagger looks I got when I said Rob Liefeld sucks.
Oh, dude, I feel bad about that, man. Because okay. James Clark, artist. Hey, what's up, man? I appreciate you guys being here, guys. If also I dropped it in there, please like and share this out on social media, guys. I'm drop the link in there again if anybody wants to come in and talk crap with us. So we went to what what Frank is talking about is we went to the very first Cleveland Comic-Con because we don't get anything like up here. We live in Cleveland, for God's sake. And Rob Liefeld was a guest there. And I, over the years, have been the biggest dick to Rob Liefeld. I have given that guy so much crap. It's like, this guy's a shit artist and blah, 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 blah. I'm an asshole.
No, you're not.
And as we're walking through, Frank, because he's my wingman, we're walking past Rob Liefeld. And the dude's got a freaking line like 30, 40 feet, 30 people deep. And this is the kind of guy Frank is. Frank yells out. We're walking past and Frank just yells out, Rob Liefeld sucks.
They keep walking.
And they just keep walking. And some dude was like, it's like, oh, well, that's an interesting. And then Frank, we just kept walking. He goes, and you guys aren't listening to me. You're just walking. He literally says this as a, well, that's an interesting. You're just walking away. So it's funny. But later on, I found I was like, Rob Liefeld was like, he's a really nice guy, and he really takes it all in stride. I'm like, oh, I'm the asshole. Got it. So I apologized to Rob Liefeld vehemently for being such a prick over the years. I think he's a cool guy. But yeah, I got into a Twitter debate over Star Wars with Rob Liefeld. How many of you sons of bitches can say that?
Not me.
No, I got one for you. When the first Amazing Spider-Man movie came out,
Mm-hmm.
I got into an argument with Peter David on Ain't It Cool News forum.
Wow.
Yeah, he was championing the movie. He says, "Oh no, this is exactly like the movie." Blah blah blah, and I was pointing out, "No, it's not." And it went long. It went long.
Yeah. I bet it's like, listen, man, I worked on that. I know what I'm talking about. But
Yeah,
I thought the shit was funny. But yeah, that's pretty much everything I had today, guys. What did you? Yeah, my brain just decided to. My brain is betraying me so badly these days.
Get a new one.
Yeah, I wish, man. But yeah. Anybody else got anything, man? George, you got anything you wanna drop real quick here?
If anyone's interested in a comic book, a complete comic book story, Joe King versus the world's greatest average hero, just go over to georgepetergatzis.com. And you can click on the nice, pretty big pictures, and it'll take you right to the store. The book is done. It's available. It's humor. It makes you laugh. It'll make you laugh on so many levels. It's ridiculous.
There you go. Right there. I'll drop the link in here for yours. There you go.
Yeah, just click on that big picture that just keeps changing, and it'll take you right to the store.
And coupon codes. Ooh. WikiBuy. Get a deal. Ever seen Confessions of a Superhero, the 2007 documentary? I think I've seen that one. There's been a couple of those. Something similar to that. That's from Tersh, by the way. Hey, Tersh, you ever gonna show back up to the freaking game? Bastard. I made a mini for you and everything. But Ain't It Cool News? Have they heard of a movie they didn't love? No. Oh my God. George, did you see that interview that Billy Tucci did with Rich Johnson?
Yeah, you know what? It was a good interview. I was thoroughly impressed listening. I read Rich's his list, but when he was actually adding more value to why he was picking certain people and stuff like that, it actually made sense. I'm going like, damn, this is a good list. There was a lot of thought put into it, and that's what really impressed me is that when Billy Tucci started saying, okay, what about Ethan or what about others and stuff like that, and he says, well, you can only quit company one time.
Yeah,
he was coming up with very logical retorts.
Yeah,
To the question.
Billy's a really, really good interviewer, man. I would love to do a show and just pick that guy's brain for a half an hour or an hour.
Passionate. I think
Yes.
I think the key is that if you when you're doing an interview with him, you have a nice whiskey on the, and then just match the drinks as you're doing the interview.
Oh, jeez. I'd be dead. Dude, I have no tolerance anymore, man. I'm such a lightweight. But
you know, chamomile tea is usually the substitute in movies for booze, right?
yep. But real quick, I'm gonna throw Billy's Indiegogo up here. If you're a comic book fan from the old days, man. Yes, this is it's live now too, Tom. She Way of the Warrior, man. This is his follow up to his 94 book, and it's, dude, that friggin' cover is gorgeous, man. Look at that. God dang, that guy he's so good, man, and he's such a good guy. And he's up to, what is he? He launched this on Indiegogo and on Kickstarter, and I think he's up to he's over 170 grand. So really love this.
Damn.
This is funny. He's got the parody cover there, the Spider-Man parody cover. Dude, you can get that hoodie looks awesome, man. If they had a size in 55 gorilla, I'd get it. I mean, dude, I really got to start getting back on my diet and everything, lose some more weight, because I want this stuff. I can't have it. But yeah, and then he did a what's that other cover that was really good? It was the Art Germ cover, I think.
He got to do a cover?
I think he got somebody. Who did he get? He got a couple of really big name people.
J. Scott Campbell.
He got the Mike Renzine. He got that. That one's a really nice one. That's the one where she's holding the throwing star on her shoulder. Connie Valentina did this one. That's nice. He got was it Amanda Connor? Yeah, Amanda Connor did one for him. George Perez, that's who did it. He got George freaking Perez to do a cover, man. Look at these are all special covers, by the way, guys. This is gorgeous. That's a page from it. And I think that Perez cover's at the bottom somewhere. Yeah, this is another one of the special covers. Dude, I love that. If I got one, that's probably the one I would get. I love that building in the background there.
Castle.
Whatever, dude. Yeah, Amanda Connor, George Perez. If you don't know who George Perez is, man, get the hell out of my friggin', get off my channel. Get out of here. I thought he had an Archer one too, though. That's the cover. That's the one I'm talking about with the throwing star.
With the throwing star.
Yeah, it's nice. But yeah, Billy Tucci, he's a great guy. Lovely, and like George and I was talking about, he's a great interview, man. Like Rich Johnson is one of the most caustic people you're ever gonna meet, and Billy it was just like two friends talking, man. I was like, wow, Billy's really doing a great job in this. Now, obviously, there were some subjects that Billy tried to broach, and Rich wasn't going to have it. But I'm continually impressed by Billy, by his ability to just get people to be people. And again, one of the nicest guys you're ever going to meet. And like George said, an amazing passion for comics. Dude's awesome. I love him to death. But okay, guys, we're going to go ahead and call it there because Tom's got to leave.
Tom's got to leave.
Tom's got, yeah, he had to get out of here. It's like we're almost at like exactly 7:00, so he's got to get out of here.
I'm going to a fundraiser.
What's your fundraising?
Travel team money for Derby.
Oh yeah, George, that's right. Tom's really big into roller derby. Rollerball. That's every time I think of roller derby, that's what pops in my head is that friggin' movie, man. But anyway, thanks for being here, guys. We appreciate it. We appreciate all the comments. Also, once this gets posted up, leave a comment below. Please don't forget about the charity for the GoFundMe for the Grim Reaper team, Tom, John Gallagher, and Carla. good people that lost their house in a house fire. And help them out if you can. Every little bit helps. But thanks for being here, guys. We'll see you guys next week. Take care.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.